Well, it's shaping up to be a shipwreck of a summer for the Walt Disney Company in terms of movies and box office success. 2023 could just be the year that Mickey Mouse has to have a real come to the market meeting. Yes, the movies are not doing well. We've already seen Quantumania flop. Now Guardians of the Galaxy is dropping. But if you thought you had seen bad, if you thought you had seen cringe, let me show you the lore behind The Little Mermaid, something you've almost certainly not seen before, because folks, you ain't seen nothing yet. Well, it's a beautiful day out there, and I'm so excited to be talking with each and every one of you because you matter. Entertainment matters, and the stuff that we love to watch matters. It's the stuff that we dream about going home or going to different places to see. Very cool to me. And you know what? If you like content like this, consider clicking the like button, share, subscribe. And you can stick it to the algorithms. When you click it, we're talking about that notification bell. When you do, you help us explain entertainment and keep people ahead of that culture curve. Well, there's a big curve out there for Disney, and it is curving downward. Take a look at this out of Box Office Pro by Sean Robbins, this from April 28th, talking about The Little Mermaid. It says another of Disney's most iconic animated films gets the big screen live-action treatment when The Little Mermaid opens on Memorial Day weekend 1 month from now. Additionally, several films will counter-program over the holiday frame. Preliminary analysis, forecasts, and updated tracking for upcoming releases are below. All right, listen up. I'm going to go through this very quickly, but I promise you, you have to hang in there. I'm going to show you stuff that you have not seen before with Little Mermaid that is just, you're going to understand why my expectations for this film are falling fast. All right, here's the pros that Box Office Pro has. The Little Mermaid was one of the first films in Disney's 1990s second golden era run of animated films, earning $84.4 million domestically after its late 1989 bow. This remake has remained the most anticipated live-action treatments remaining from the studio's vault of that time following the massive success of other redos. I'm not sure that's totally accurate, but we'll go with it. Additionally, casting Halle Bailey, a person of color, as Ariel could expand the original's film appeal to a more diverse audience and potentially overperform current box office expectations. We'll see. With a long holiday opening weekend and minimal competition for what should be an all-ages, female-driven audience, Mermaid has potential to enjoy a leggy summer. Well, she'll need to get some legs. Maybe she does, though. Run if word of mouth is positive among the multi-generation audience. Hint to those of you who have not seen it, it's a spoiler. Yes, she gets legs. Although in the real world, that has yet to be seen. Now, of course, it goes into some cons on this. We're not going to go into these cons. However, I just want to show you the big con, because it doesn't matter what the cons and the positives are in reality when you look at these numbers. Box Office Pro now is projecting that The Little Mermaid will land somewhere between 70 and 90 million domestically for the Memorial Day weekend. Now, remember, that's the Memorial Day weekend. That's when movies are supposed to do fantastic. It's one of the best, most coveted weekends of the year. And The Little Mermaid essentially has it all to herself. And yet with these numbers, if they hold true, this movie will launch at approximately half of the Super Mario Brothers movie. Not only that, but if you look at the overall expectations, yes, they think it'll have something like a 3 times run at the box office, but that still lands them at the highest point that Box Office Pro anticipates now at $305 million domestically. If we assume a 1-to-1 ratio with international box office returns, that puts this movie at about $600 million, 610 to be exact, in terms of its full box office run at the very top end of what Box Office Pro expects. And here's the sad thing about that. Given the production budget behind this movie, given the marketing budget behind this movie, we can now anticipate that at the box office, at the highest level that is anticipated, this film will not make money. This film will lose money. It is now anticipated, although I suppose it could overperform greatly. But it is anticipated, even at its highest potential out of Box Office Pro, to be a flop. That's incredible. Now let's get to the thing that I was teasing you a bit with. I'm not teasing, though, in terms of how bad this is. You're really not going to believe this. This was sent to me by a viewer And we're so pleased and happy when you all send stuff my way. Thank you so much, and appreciate all of you who have become sources out there. This from youloveit.com. Not a website that I frequent very often, but my gosh, does it have some information that's going to be something today.
Make sure to catch the Pro Show Thursdays 5 to 7 Eastern Time. Entertainment Explained, The Culture Curve Conquered, live with Pro and all his friends.
The title is called Little Mermaid Live Action Ariel's Movie 2023 Sisters' Names, Magic Abilities, and Appearance. And essentially what this site has is perhaps pre-release information on Ariel's new sisters and the lore behind this movie. As we read through this, what I want you to remember is this to me looks very much like what happens when, one, you put into the hands the content and the franchise that was once magnificent into the hands of people who are incapable of doing much with it. In other words, the people doing this, in my opinion, based on what I'm seeing, lack talent, flat out. And I hate to be like that because it's no fun to ridicule and criticize people who have created something. It's no fun to be negative about a product because people have put their heart, their soul, their mind into this. And yet there is no other way than to look at this and realize that it's probably better that if someone had said the dog ate my homework rather than put this thing out there. Yet here it is. The other thing I want you to remind everybody is that this appears to me to be much like what happens when you produce a spreadsheet that says you must have diversity, equity, and inclusion, and it must follow this quasi-religious robotic system. You're going to see that there's an effort here to make sure that everybody sees themselves in these characters, and yet nobody will see themselves in them because they're very hollow. All right, here we go. In Disney's animated cartoon version of all Ariel's sisters' names began with the letter A: Atina, Alana, Adela, Aquata, Arista, Andrina, and Ariel. But in the live-action movie with Halle Bailey, only Ariel will have her past name. All the other mermaids get new, but no less beautiful names. Mala, Indira, Caspia, Tamika, Perla, and Karina. They are the daughters of Triton and the seas they rule on the map. Now, this is very funny to me because essentially what somebody has done is they have tried to make a more jagged, I suppose, globe that looks like the real globe, but it's off. And the funny thing about it is, let me just show you. I'll walk you through, and then some of you already out there are realizing this. If we look at this globe, you're going to see that where the apneic sea is, with the blonde-haired, blue finned chick, you're going to see that looks a lot like Europe, right? We've even got the Scandinavian countries up there. It dips down like Europe. Below that, the apneic sea, I guess, is the Mediterranean. Below that, we have Africa. To the right, we have Asia. We've even got the little peninsula sticking out that is India. And just going along with how they're trying to mimic real life and real ethnicities that exist on our globe, yes, there is a blonde-haired, fair-skinned girl next to what would be Europe. Yes, there's an Asian-looking girl next to the China Sea. Fantastic, isn't there? Very creative. Yes, there's a lady who looks like she is South Asian by the Python Sea, I suppose. And yes, at the bottom of Africa, there is the Fracas Sea, ruled by a lady who looks like she is of African descent. In fact, if you look over here at the bottom of Europe, you'll see someone who looks perhaps as if she is of North African or South European descent. But look at this. This is the funny thing to me. On this globe of whoever invented this, yes, look over here. We've got East Asia over here, right? On this right side or on the left side of the globe, you can see the right side of this coast. That's Asia. And down here, we've got Australia. But there's no North America. They completely got rid of North America, which I think is just fabulous because it really goes to the heart of these people hate. They hate North America. They hate the United States. It's so funny. I'm assuming that Ariel, based on this Karine, whatever, however you say it, that she's like Caribbean in some way. I have no idea. And then the Scythe Sea over here, maybe that's Australian, and who knows. But it's just funny to me. They have all these other continents mapped out: Europe, Asia, Africa. We've got Antarctica down here. We've got Australia. We've got the other side of Asia. No North America. We ripped that out. Got to go North America. And look at how bad this is. Listen, folks. I know that little girls programming, okay, for 5, 6, 7, 8-year-old girls is cheesy and silly and, pretty, um, and often not very deep, but that does not save how bad this looks. Check this out. This is just awful. First, look at live action Ariel sisters. Here are Ariel's sisters who appear to be standing in front of a camera. Then they have their ridiculous looking fins added on. They live under the water, yet their hair is not wet, and it is just disconcerting. I mean, look at the pink girl. I don't understand why they made the decision to have their hair look like it's not wet in the water. It is the strangest looking thing, and all of it just adds up to being so cheaply made, so cheaply photoshopped. I mean, this looks awful. I mean, it just looks awful, but it's going to get worse. Here we go. Let me tell you the lore that you can find in the Little Mermaid Guide to Merfolk book. Here's the information you can find out about Ariel and her sisters. Ariel, she is the most sensitive with a tender and loving heart. She has a fascination for the human world and collects trinkets from shipwrecks. We all know who she is, but she rules now from the Carine Sea. And there is Ariel. But we go down. Mala, she is the most fearless of her sisters, committed to protecting the reefs at any cost. She hates shipwrecks. They pollute her ocean and leave a havoc on the seashore. She rules the China. She's Chinese. I get it. Culture of the Chine Sea, ruled by Mala. And then you keep on going down. Karina, she is strong, the most decisive of her sisters with a strong intuition. She is very afraid of humans and is a great protector of seals. She rules the Scythe Sea. The waters are typically clothed in ice. She is the most reclusive. I'm sorry, but these are extremely poorly done. This is like third-rate, low-level, independent video game fan fiction. These are bad. I mean, if you just and folks, I'm going to have the description, the link below. I don't want to spend too much time here, but this is just bad. I mean, let's read one of these. Brine dive sea culture ruled by Indira. The inhabitants create clouds of dust by stirring up the seafloor to disorient any threats, such as reef sharks or barracudas. The sea fern is sacred to them. They greet each other by waving their fins while maintaining eye contact. All meals end in mussels. On holidays, they sing whale songs. If they sing well, a whale will hear the song from afar and sing back. These are like, it's an attempt to create culture around these characters who are supposed to be reflective of real world cultures. And yet they are so thin, they are so shallow that it's ludicrous. These are like 3-sentence snippets that are being used to help with toy manufacturing and card games and stickers and all that, so that the developers of all these things can remember, oh, this is the one that likes the ferns. I got it. Okay. Caspia, she likes corals. Okay, put a coral image of there. But the effort here. Okay, one more. You're right. Apneic Sea culture ruled by Caspia. The inhabitants there value punctuality and are highly superstitious. They believe it is bad luck to swim with your back to another mermaid. They tie soft corals with seagrass to manifest marriage. I don't know what that means. On the first day of summer, they rub mud on their fins for success. Success at what? Marriage? Reproduction? Like what? For the same effect, they stay up all night on the first day of winter. For sport, they draw artistic shapes in the sand and tell stories to entertain the younger ones with tales of good versus evil. They greet each other by rubbing their scales against each other. They sing to calm the restless babies. What the crap is this? Who wrote this? Who paid to have this done? This is awful. And I hate to be this way. I want to find good in this. Some of the art, like whoever the artists are, you can tell they went to school to do it. They're talented, I guess. This is bad. This is so bad. And all of this adds up to being sort of a nightmare scenario for the Walt Disney Company this summer. Look at this. Guardians of the Galaxy is now down at 78% on the tomato meter over on Rotten Tomatoes. We don't know what The Little Mermaid is going to be, but we already know its projections are dropping. Every big hit that Disney was anticipating, every chance at $1 billion, is falling. Take a look at this. If we click on the tomato meter or the tomato meter, if we go to just top critics instead, it's down at 70%. 6.7 is the average rating from top critics. Why does it matter? Because top critics are the individuals who work usually for legacy outlets where their job is safe. All critics includes all these people who they depend on putting out good reviews in order to maintain access to early premieres and swag and get a new a job. All of that, they have volatility and they have to please people. The top critics usually don't, and they're saying it's a 70%, 33 top critic reviews, 70% for what was supposed to be the swan song of the Guardians of the Galaxy, the send-out of James Gunn. If we take a look at what that means in terms of where this movie would land for Marvel, check this out, 79% for Captain Marvel. Did anybody enjoy that one? Black Widow, 79%. Iron Man 3, 79%. Thor, we're talking Thor's and Avengers Age of Ultron is where this thing is at. Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Volume 3. We had all thought it was probably going to land in the 90 or upper 80s%. No, it's down here with Avengers Age of Ultron. Maybe it's not the worst movie ever, but that's not a good sign for Disney. And when all of their movies seem to be falling apart at this point, is it Indiana Jones that they're going to have to depend on to get them to the billion mark? And can that one even do it? Perhaps all of these bad decisions that Disney has been making, perhaps these bad decisions coming from Iger, hiring these ideologically driven people who want to create divisive content rather than hiring experts and geniuses to take care of source material and love these things into existence and produce content that the vast majority of audiences will love, a la Super Mario Brothers. Perhaps that strategy is finally coming home to roost. It seems like there are fires all over Disney, and not even a Little Mermaid with her ocean water sisters, each of them looking like a different ethnicity, each of them representing every part of the world except North America, which apparently is bad. Not even that can put out this fire. And for Disney, I can only say, honestly, it's about time. The company needs to course correct. They need to go back to creating content that most people can enjoy. That's what businesses do. And whatever this has been, this push to socio-engineer the types of content that families and children will love, it's got to stop. We're done now. And so hopefully it's time. Hopefully Wish, the movie coming out later this year around the holidays from Disney, will be the beginning of a course correction. We shall see. If not, companies like Illumination, companies like Universal, studios like DreamWorks, they're going to produce that content instead. And so the market will get what it wants. Whether or not Disney is invited to that party is up to Disney. But we'll be there. Because, folks, we're going to keep on partying. We're going to keep on enjoying content. We're going to keep on having fun. We just hope that Disney at some point down the road, can start producing fun content yet again. That would be in everybody's best interest so long as the company itself can begin to clean out the clutter that's behind the scenes, messing things up, making things messy. All right, folks, if you like content like this, consider clicking the like button, share, subscribe, and you can stick it to the algorithms. When you click it, we're talking about that notification bell. We are celebrating 1 month of memberships here on the channel. If you'd like to become a member, it's the price of a soda. Dip your toes or your fins in and check out all the exclusive content that members receive. I think you'll really like it. We covet your comments, so drop one down below. This is not just me talking in a vacuum. No, we want to hear your thoughts. I care about what you think. Each and every one of you is important, and your mind is, as I have said before, the most amazing thing in all of the universe. We've got tons more content on the way later this week. We're going to be explaining that writer's strike. We're going to be looking at Guardians of the Galaxy, getting a review out soon. So make sure you check out all of that stuff as it happens. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.
Floral, it's time for you to walk the plank.
What? Why?
Because you haven't subscribed to WDW Pro yet. Nor bookmark thatpartplace.com on your web browser to get great articles from great contributors.
What?